Hey, I'm Nina, the resident yoga instructor at BookYogaRetreats. This is a sequence in a series that we've designed for you at an intermediate yoga level. We have also kept in mind that many of you are yoga travelers, so all of these sequences are accessible, relatively short, and you're able to do them anywhere. The theme for this sequence is Journey to Headstand. So this is all about building the strength, finding the right alignment, and building the confidence in order to do your headstand wherever you are. So the headstand is known as the king of asanas, and there are a myriad of health benefits. So it's a really important one to integrate into your practice, and it's a foundational pose in yoga. So it's worth taking your time to build up to do it correctly. So we're going to begin by sitting on the mat. Make sure that you're in a comfortable, or the Sukhasana, the easy sitting pose. I'm sitting on a block to give myself a little bit more height and ease up around the hips, so feel free to do that as well. Have your hands on your knees and relax the shoulders. Draw them back and down, opening up the solar plexus and allowing for a sense of lift. Reach through the top of the head. And then from here, gently start to connect with your breath. Start to observe the breath. Use this as a tool now to calm your mind and bring yourself to a place of presence. Connecting with your body, connecting with your breath in this time and space. Allowing you to do yoga in a mindful way. Focus on that breath and that essential rhythm. Now I invite you to start to lengthen the breath a bit, breathing in and drawing in life and oxygen, releasing tension with the exhalation. Do a few rounds of those in your own time, readying yourself for our first series of stretches, which will be through the neck. So on your next inhalation, reach up through the spine, and on the exhalation, stretch out towards your right hand side, stretching on the left side of the neck. I invite you then to bring your right arm up and gently place your hand on the outside of the head, engaging further in the stretch, and then lifting up with your left hand and reaching away from you. Stretch right into the fingertips and open up the chest. You might feel that there's a sweet spot, just somewhere lifting slightly forward, slightly back. Find the sweet spot for you. So if you just shift it around a little bit, there'll be just that right angle that allows for a deep stretch and a sense of release. You really want to stretch out the neck before we start putting pressure on it in our version. And then exhale and release. Inhale, lift up, and exhale. Go over to the other side, gently coaxing the head down, and then reaching out with your right arm. Feeling the full extent of that stretch and finding the sweet spot, taking the time to really find where it's like that aha moment where you really connect and get deep into the stretch. Then stretch right up over the side of the neck and the shoulder. Taking another full breath. Exhale, release. Bring the hands forward, interlock your fingers, and round the shoulders, drawing the head in to look down towards your belly button. Rounding the top of the shoulders and stretching now the back of the neck. Looking in, pull your hands away from you as if there's a magnetic force pulling the hands away from you. Exhale, take another deep breath in. Exhale. And then on the inhalation, draw the arms up, bring them alongside the ears, and invert the hands, pushing the heel of the hand up towards the ceiling. Arms alongside the ears, opening up the chest. You can gently move the head from side to side, looking to either way. And then exhale, release the arms, pushing the heel of the hand away from you, stretching right into the fingertips. Again, you may feel tingling and tension around at a certain height and angle, so enjoy that feeling. And then exhale, release the arms, rolling the shoulders back and opening up the chest to look upwards. Gentle back bend here. So just warming up the upper part of the spine and the neck. Bring the spine back to neutral on the exhalation, and then we'll do 3 rounds on each side, moving first towards your right, and then drawing the head down, and inhale it up. Go in a full circle if that feels good for you. If it doesn't, then stop halfway and don't do the back end, just round the neck front, side to side. We're on our second round. Exhale, closing in. And inhale and lifting. And we'll go in the opposite direction now. Exhale. Inhale and lifting. Going for the second time. Really taking the time to warm up there. And the third time. Back towards the center. And release. From here, you're going to lift up the hips, move the block out the way, and come to face the front of your mat. Have the block in front of you, lift it up. Place your hands just a little bit in front of the block, spreading the fingers. I like to have my heels in line with the front of the block. Exhale. Inhale, lift yourself up into the first down dog, and you can bend and stretch, walking into the posture. Now notice how I place my forehead on the block. And as I'm bending and stretching and walking into my first down dog, I'm also pushing my head into the block and feeling the sense of contact between the head and the block, getting ready for that full inversion and the combination of using arms as strength, pushing down with the head and lifting up through the spine, up to the hips. So as you bend and stretch, warm up using the down dog to warm up the body a little bit. Feel that contact. And then you can straighten both legs, pushing the heels away from you, feet hip width apart, taking 3-4 breaths. Feel as though the spine is lengthening with each inhalation and that the body is softening with each exhalation. Another full round of breath. Then inhale, lift the head enough to bring the weight over the wrists and then start to bend your knees. Now before your knees reach the floor, hold them there. Push the floor away from you and hold them, lifting the belly button into the spine, round the shoulder girdle, and feel that connection between the core, between the breath, and the strength in the upper body. You're going to combine all of those factors for your headstand. Make sure that you're still breathing. Then inhale, you're going to lift up again, this time keeping the knees bent, forehead on the block, and draw the knees in towards the belly. Feel the lift around the shoulders, space around the shoulders. Hold it, deep full breath. And then on the next inhalation, draw the knees down again. Hold it. We'll do this 3 times. Might start to feel a slight burn. This is all subtle muscle groups around the core, around the glute. Another deep full breath. And then inhale, lifting up, forehead on the block, bending the knees, hugging the knees in towards the belly. Taking another deep full breath. And on the next big exhalation, lowering for a 3rd time. Belly up towards the spine, full control, full sense of lift, push the floor away. Hovering, sense of lightness, reaching through the head. Then exhale, lightest of touch. Release the feet. And now you can bring the block in front of you, and we're going to go into the dolphin. So this dolphin, this sequence of the version of the dolphin is absolutely critical. It's one of the first things I learned years ago at a Shivananda teacher training course in how to strengthen directly for your headstand. So I highly recommend it. You're going to push your hands into the side of the block, elbows in line with the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, inhale and lift up. So you're in your dolphin pose. You're aware of this. The head is soft, ears alongside upper arms, and your legs are nice and straight and strong, pushing your knees away from you. You found the foundation in your dolphin pose. Then from here, lift your head up and look forward towards your block. In this posture, the closer your feet are towards your head, the harder it is. So to try out, walk a little bit back. And then on the exhalation, bring your head over the block, bringing your chin to touch, and then inhale and lift up. Exhale, touch, inhale, 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 lift up. Adjust the feet as you need to. Further away from your hands, the easier it is. Inhale and lift. Exhale, release. Release the arms. So that sequence you can keep doing as long as you like to get the confidence and the feeling that your elbows do not splay outwards. So one of the first things that happens when people start trying headstands is that they put all of their focus in having super strong hands and supporting their head in their hands and having soft elbows. Their elbows then shift outwards when they're in the pose, and their upper back and shoulders cave in, and they no longer have that strong foundational support. So this exercise with the Dolphin helps you to build the strength and feeling of stability that you need. You can also actively look at your elbows and make sure that they don't splay outwards. So you work against that natural inclination, and that helps you protect your neck and achieve more stability in the headstand. So once you've done that a few times, you're ready to begin working towards your headstand. If you'd like to practice this with a wall close by behind you, then do so. My advice is that you don't rely too much on a wall, because then it becomes something that you feel that you always need. So my advice is that you get a friend or a spotter behind you, and that you always make sure you're a bit away from the wall. That also helps you build the internal core strength and confidence that you need for this. So you're going to bring your hands in front of you, interlocking your fingers, making sure that they're soft. Elbows are strong. You built that strength. Place your head between your hands. Place the top of the head between your hands, the real crown of the head. Tuck the toes under, inhale, lift the bum up, and walk your feet towards your head, to the point in where your back feels nice and straight, and your feet start to feel light, as if you could lift them off the mat at any time. That is the first part in your journey to headstand. The first part, that feeling. Straightening the spine, lifting the bum up towards the ceiling, and feeling that the feet can lift. So that's stage 1. If that feels good, move to stage 2. So same beginning. Measure the elbows, strong elbows, soft hands. Head between the hands. Inhale, lift up. Walk feet towards the head. Now you're going to lift one leg at a time. So lifting one leg and releasing the other. Inhale, lift the other, release. Feel that sense of lift. And when it starts to feel good, gently push to come up and lift both legs up. And then this is the critical stage. So you're really hugging the legs in, pushing the elbows into the floor and holding. You have this, the rest is easy. Gently come out. Relax, so that's stage 2, and I would say that's the most important. Then stage 3 goes from there up to the full headstand. So let me demonstrate. Soft hands, strong elbows, crown of the head. Inhale and lift. Walk the feet up. Inhale one leg at a time, finding that strength, holding. Start to lift the push the elbows down, lift the shoulders. Inhale, and then lift your knees up to bring your feet behind you. Keep pushing the thighs together. And then if you feel good, start to straighten out. Once you've done that, check that your hands are soft. Check that your face is soft. Check that you're lifting your shoulders away from your ears. check that you're breathing. Gently come down the same way that you went up. Bending the knees, hugging in, control, holding, slowly coming out. Once you've done that, relax your head and come into child pose. So always counteract your headstand with the child pose so that you can regulate the blood pressure. And then ready to lift up. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me today. I wish you all the very best in your journey to your headstand. Please take the time to connect with us through our social media channels and our YouTube channel, where you can find the rest in this series of yoga sequences for beginners and intermediate level yogis.